Hey guys, my name's Justin. I'm going to create a quick lead module video for you guys. I have a developer edition org where I have frame and flow cells here. We're going to go through a lead record real quick. Something to pay close attention to is going to be this product interest field. You'll notice these values are all related to Salesforce types of offerings, right? So this is for a consulting group that will help drive these motions for a given business to set up these Salesforce solutions. I've created a couple views here to a queue. So there's several of these you'll see, and they're all related to that product interest field. Setting up a queue field is pretty easy. You just go to the sort filter over here, and you can see it's sorted by queue on leads, and you just define what the queue is, and then it gives you a view. You can filter this out to who can view it and everything like that as well. Then once you create it, you'll want to do some mapping here for fields that are relevant for your business users to see at the top. For me, I'm looking at these values as important to me. Some cool options that they give you with Salesforce is to be able to do some inline editing here. So for various fields, you'll have the ability to edit those from this view without having to go to the actual record. From here, we'll go to the gear icon. This is going to give you the back-end setup. If you want to look at for queues, when we look at the queues, what we'll see here is I've created a number of queues that map to that product interest field. To set up a queue, it's real simple. You give it a name, label name, a queue name. If you want to have an email associated to the queue, so there's an inbox to know what records hit that, you can set that up as well. And this also has the ability to send emails to members. So if you have, a queue set up to where it's first come, first serve for your business users, that email hit the inbox and allow them to go into that queue to where they can take action on leads as they hit. Within the queue setup, you can set that up for a number of objects that live within Salesforce. We set ours up to be the lead, so you just highlight it and you add it over to the selected object screen. For adding members, there's a few ways that you can accomplish this. You can do this by individual users, you can do it by public groups, or you can do it by roles and subordinates. These two are determined by what's defined within your hierarchy structure that you can set up in Salesforce. We'll probably cover that in another video. Public groups are a little bit more flexible. You can create public groups for users and you can manually add people to those groups. Ideally, you'll want to create some sort of automation to assign members to those groups. So you'll probably look at some sort of user record type of data element where you can set that criteria to do that. Looking at one of the queues that I set up here for knowledge setup, you'll see that you have a label and a name. I didn't set up any of the queue emails or anything like that. You see the lead is in the selected object, and I use the user attribute because within the developer org, I'm limited on the number of users that can exist. Once your queue set up, you need a routing function to get records to that queue. One of those type functions that Salesforce offers is these assignment rules. So it can automatically assign, as it says here, to users or queues. The criteria that you set here can be both code-based or it can be criteria-based with minimal knowledge of SQL information. So whenever you are looking at the order determines the processing of the engine in Salesforce. So it automatically, once you set that order, it's going to process leads that way. So if a lead comes in and the product of interest equals no value, it's going to automatically go to this queue. But if another lead comes in and it's knowledge setup, what's going to happen is that lead is going to try to validate against this criteria and down this list until it hits the valid value to know where to send it. Setting up this lead assignment rule isn't too hard to do. You set the order. You can't have more than one value for an order. You can do criteria met, or you can do formulas. So these are like validation rules. It gives you the functions that you can do, and you just use the operators and the fields from the lead or user object, right? Or a system. You have these values here that you can use within this box to define how you want to determine the criteria to validate the true. For most processes, you're likely only ever going to use this. You'll notice here that you see the lead here in this first part followed by a colon. That means that this is looking for fields that exist within your lead record. You'll notice that we can also pull in through this function the user information, so any type of user record attribute you can use as well. And then campaigns and DMB company information. You can use field values that exist on those records as well. Next up, we'll discuss more about how to create some data, and then we will do a data load into the system. So we have created some mock data here. The tool that I've used for that is called Mockaroo. So essentially what I do is I add fields here that represent fields within my Salesforce environment, and then I define the type of field it is. And then once all that's done, I determine how many records I want to create, and I generate data. I get a CSV file. Within this CSV file, I massage this data a little bit. So I made sure that my product of interest matched the data that I have within my Salesforce environment. I've added generalized description values. I've ensured that the lead source, the rating, and the industry fields all match picklist values that exist within our system. Once all that's completed, I have an upsert option here. I'm going to go to the lead. I'm going to browse for the mock data file that I have. Match these based upon email. Don't care about these fields. We'll notice that there's some missing mapping here, along with some bad mapping. I think I need to use the code values for country and state. So I'm going to create a new map. I'm going to drop country code here. And I'm going to look for state code. Here, replace this one. And then I'm going to look at the postal code. And then product of interest. Excuse me. Click next. Click finish. You're going to get a message that talks about updating records to your database. I get a successful message with no errors. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go back to my Salesforce environment, and I should have more records in these queues. You'll see that these were created here. There's more. If I look at the AI ready queue, there's going to be more. We'll see that Cloud Pulse Systems matches the data value in here for Cloud Pulse. Let's find it right here. See, it says AI ready audit. and we have that within the AI Ready Audit lead queue. Thank you for taking the time. I hope this video was helpful. Stay tuned. I'm going to do some more of these and help share this knowledge. Where I work, we're currently migrating to a dynamic solution. So I'm learning a new CRM, and I think it's cool to retain the knowledge that I've built over the last decade in Salesforce and share that with other people. I don't know, who might find it useful or not. But it is fun to do. I love playing inside this tool. I've done a lot of cool stuff. I think in the next video, I'll jump in and finish discussing the lead stuff. I'll talk about lightning pages and page layouts and record types. And then we'll go from there.